back to Viper's Reloading and Casting channel. Today, I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about what it takes as far as equipment to get into casting the bullets, projectiles themselves. In other words, taking a metal, melting it down, and pouring it into a mold in order to make the tip of the bullet. So, as with getting into reloading itself, the first thing you need to do is get something like this book, the Lyman Cast Bullet Handbook, in order to read and get a better understanding of what you're trying to get into. One of the first things you have to have after you've read the book and you want to get into it, so you have to have a way to first melt the metal. Now there's different ways to do it. How I started was with this little Lee melting pot. Take the metal, put it in here, it's heated up, setting your temperature, and then you heat it up, metal's in there, and then you have to take like a ladle or some kind of dipper to scoop the metal out and pour it over into the mold. Since starting, I kind of decided to upgrade a little, so then I went to this, which is a lot bigger, holds a lot more metal, and all that has to be done is hold the mold underneath, and then by lifting the handle, the plunger comes up, metal flows out and into your mold. Now we talk about metal. There's different ways to come across and get your metal. One way is I bought metal straight from a company. I got this from Roto Metals. Great place to go and find the metals that you need. If you're wanting to just buy it and have it delivered to your house. This is Lyman number 2, which is 90% lead, 5% antimony, and 5% tin. This will give you what's a Brinell hardness. That's the hardness itself of the metal of around 16 BHN, which is a good shooting cast bullet. Now you've got your metal, you've got your way to melt the metal. You've read about the safe practices and how to do this. Now we talk about molds, and here I got 2 of the molds that I use. A double caliber. This is what I use to make bullets for my 30-30, and you can see right here on it, even though it's upside down, you see the 309. That is the diameter of the cast bullet, and the 170, that's how many grains that bullet is once it's been cast. It's a 309.309 inch, 170 grain bullet, which I then size and put into a jacket, and I've got a 30-30 bullet. This one here is a 6 cavity mold, so I can pour 6 bullets at a time. And this one is for my 45, so it's a .452 diameter, 200 grain bullet that is produced from this 6 cavity mold. Once you've got the book, got the metal, you melt the metal, you pour the metal, then the next thing you have to do is you have to size the bullet to make sure that it's exactly the diameter that you want. So I have this set up for my press. I just drop it in and I go to the whatever sizes I need. Here's 4 of my 6 calibers right here, because I got another one that has just the other 2 calibers on it for now. And if you look at it, this one sizes it to .452, so that's for the 45. This one, .401, that's for the 40. This one's for my 9mm, so it's .356. and then this one is 224. So this is for my AR rounds for the 223. So this would just, if you have a turret press like I do, just sets in. This little device replaces your shell holder on your press. You take your cast bullet, put it on, push the ram up, this goes in. There's a red case that sits on the top up here, which looks like one of these, just it sits on the top. As you press the bullet, it goes up, and they just collect in here. When you've got them all done, turn it over, take them out, and you have all your cast bullets ready to be loaded. Another thing you have to look at is to load the bullet, you have to lube the cast bullet. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. I've done the liquid A-locks and lubed it all up that way. I made some homemade lube that worked very well with just some over-the-counter stuff that I bought from Walgreens and Advanced Auto, because it uses some transmission fluid in it for the lubricant. Now what I do is I take all my bullets and I put a powder coat on them, which does the same thing as having a lube. The powder coat protects your barrel. As you can see, that's a powder coated 3030 ready to go. So it keeps the lead from leading your barrel once you shoot it. And really, that's all it takes to get into the casting portion. Now, expense wise, your 2 cavity is a lot cheaper than your 6 cavity. When you buy a 6 cavity, it comes with just that right there, and then you have to purchase the handle separately. The metal, to get 5 pounds from Roto Metals for Lima number 2, it's approximately $20, not including the shipping. This little pot here is $40, $50. This bigger one here, Elite Production pot, this was about $90. If you're gonna bake your powder coat on, I got a little oven sitting here that I use, and the little screen container I use, to bake my powder coat on, and I'll do another video later on that process. And you got to have your sizing dies. Each one of these is probably $20-$30 depending on where you get it from, and really that's all it takes to get into the casting itself and actually pouring liquid metal and forming the projectile yourself. Now, if you're like me and you do a lot of shooting with different calibers, it can wind up saving you money. I don't buy, this is the last of the metal that I've bought. I don't strictly focus on shooting lineman number 2. One of the things that I'll video later is the process for turning wheel weights just from my local tire shop. I went in there and they gave me a couple buckets, and I just processed those and turn those into bullets as well. Get some ingots, which I did a whole bunch there. I got a whole bunch of ingots up there ready to go. And when it all goes more into my hobby and the joy I have of just doing all of these different processes. So thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and turn on notifications so whenever I produce one of these videos, hey, you'll be one of the first ones to know and come check it out. Have a great one.